Hi, this is Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. Doing a couple of different things here tonight. So I have got a new little setup. So trying out some different stuff here. So if you're watching and everything looks okay and sounds okay, give me a thumbs up or okay. That'll work too. I've got the screen a little different tonight, but I'm also playing with a new program tonight. So I've dabbled with this a little bit in the past, once or twice, and I decided to jump out there and do it during a live. Now I've got to do some tweaking and stuff to it, but I thought, you know what, we're gonna take a stab at it tonight and jump on here and see how it all works out. So everything looks like it's moving pretty good. So hey, welcome to What's on My Crafting Table. I know it's like, what in the world is going on? Well, there's just, you know, you get to working with technology and then you find something that's a little different or maybe works a little better. And so you go with it. The world of technology is always changing and evolving. And so sometimes it's a good thing to go with the flow, and sometimes it's bad to rock the boat. But hey, we're changing up and doing a few things different. We're going to test the waters here for this new setup and see what happens. All right, so tonight you probably read in the comments or the little promo that I would be doing a Peppermint family name. Now with this different program, if you want to comment, it is just going to say Facebook user, unless you give this program called StreamYard permission to show me your name. And so you have to do that in the comment or in the description. It has a little description up there. Has a little link where you just give StreamYard permission for me to see your name. So, because everything is coming through this program now. So we are, like I said, trying out something new, so it's a little different, and I've got to get used to some commands and some options that I did not have in the program I used before. So, well, tonight we're going to be working on this one, or I'm going to be painting this one. It is a big, gigantic peppermint, and it has the McQuarter family in the middle, and of course that's my family, so I'm going to be doing this for my family. It is basically the colors are red, white, and green. So we've got a little bit of holly up here, and I know it's probably hard for you to see right at the moment because I did go ahead and base coat it, but as we start putting the colors on there, you'll start seeing it come to life. So we're going to get started and see how this turns out. I refilled my red paint a little earlier. I was like, oh, I'm almost out of red paint. So sometimes I will purchase some big containers of paint and then just fill up my bottles as they run out. All right, so give me just a second here. I'm gonna check one more location. Everything looks good there, and everything looks good. Oh, I lost my screen. Okay, there. It's not good to lose the screen. All right, and we're gonna start that button there. Okay, so I've base coated it white, and I've done about 3 coats on this one. So just because, you know, the white of the peppermint, I really wanted it to stand out. So I've got the 3 coats on there. Now what I'm gonna do is come back with the red. Now more than likely, it's probably gonna be a lot easier if I, let's see. No, I think this brush is going to be easier. I'm debating on which brush I should do. Actually, I may use a couple of brushes, but I'm just going to start with the bigger brush. And it'll take a few coats of the color red. Doesn't seem to matter which color red I pick. I always have to put about 3 coats on whatever piece I'm working on, whether it's a door hanger or easel art, or the Broken Pieces collection. I've got a new one with the Broken Pieces collection that I am going to be taking pictures of here this week. Actually, I'll have two that I'll be doing as the Broken Pieces collection. So we'll have two of them to show this week. I hope you had a good week and you've had a good weekend. We spent yesterday at Christmas Parade. My daughter's dance studio took part in the Tillman's Corner Christmas Parade. So if you were there, my daughter passed by you along with her dance crew, her dance family. Enjoyed the parade. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. Thank heavens there was no rain, even though there was a couple of times when I thought, oh boy. We actually did the parade in the rain one year. That was not fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. That was not fun. But we had a good time. Got to see some old cars and bands and cheerleaders. Of course, kids on the side of the road catching candy and kids taking part in the parade. Everybody had a good time. Even had a famous mouse make an appearance. That was interesting. I was like, okay, we have a famous mouse that's making an appearance here. So that was pretty cool. So who is all ready for Christmas? And please don't ask me. I'm asking y'all, but don't ask me. All right, so all I'm doing is going around the peppermint and I'm getting the red put on, and as you can see me working around the holly berries and holly leaves here, you can see them begin to take some shape. And again, this red will take a couple of coats, possibly 3 coats. I'm hoping only 2, but we shall see. How many of y'all feel like that this year has kind of gotten back to some kind of normal with the Christmas season? Christmas parades, last year a lot of them were canceled. This year, seeing them go forward, not hearing about any cancellations really. Christmas parties, get-togethers, things like that, hearing where they're going forward. Okay, I'm going to spin it back around straight, and what I am going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put that in water, but next I am going to get a smaller brush and I'm going to work on these smaller lines because there's actually some skinny red lines in this as well. So I am going to reach over to a stack of brushes that I've had over here drying and find, there you are, a smaller brush. This one's just a round tip, or just a round brush. I'm just going to work my way around and put in these extra little thin red lines on my peppermint. Quick side note, the Paint Party Box Christmas Gift Edition is available. I've posted about it several times now over the weekend, or a few times. It is specially priced for those Christmas party gifts where you do gift exchange. Most of those are usually a $20 to $25 limit, and so I've priced it at $20. If you have no idea what a Paint Party Box is, our Paint Party Box, and I am wondering, did I boo-boo that? Let me see. Hold on, let me find my example here. No, I did not. Okay, scared me. I thought I had messed up this corner right here by the leaf, but I did not. Yay! Sometimes when I get to doing two things at once, I have to stop sometimes and look because I'm like, oh, did I mess that up? Because I think I remember where I'm supposed to be going, but sometimes when I'm doing two things, like talking and painting, I second guess myself. And then sometimes it's not second guessing, I messed it up and I have to fix it. So I have done that before too. All right, so working on coat number 2 of this is just a true red. I debated on whether to do Santa red, but I thought, it's a peppermint. It's not Santa Claus's outfit, or I just like the true red on some of the Christmas things. I'm gonna have to get some more red. Anybody been Christmas light looking yet? It's kind of, I don't know, I feel like the quote-unquote Christmas, I know we've been, what, a week now from Thanksgiving, but I still feel like the Christmas season is just getting off the ground. And so I haven't done any cruising to look at Christmas lights. Hey, if you know a good place to go ride through, drop it in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, because I know sometimes some of y'all can't catch me live. You catch me on the replay, or either you check me out when you just before you go to bed. Little globs of paint. You know, I don't understand how. I think I'm back at the beginning again, but I think I'm going to go over one more time. It'll be 3 coats, and then I'll know it's covered good. And then what I'll do is I will go back and do my thin lines. And then I'll dry it good so that way I can get to the middle. Or I may jump on the holly and do the holly first before I go to the middle. That may actually be a better idea. That way, I don't stick my hand in my arm and everything else in the paint. walked over here a while ago, leaned over a, matter of fact, it was the back of this one. I had painted it white just to get a coat on the back. Leaned over the thing, knew it was wet, leaned over it, got paint all over my shirt. I'm like, it's just, I don't know. It happens. What can I say? All right, gonna switch over and do the skinny lines. Get a couple more coats put on them. And then we'll get the holly taken care of and move to the middle. You see holly incorporated in Christmas decorations, but as far as just seeing holly, I don't really see a whole lot done with holly by itself. I see it added to things. Like the pretty lanterns that sometimes are part of entryway pieces, entryway decor, or centerpieces on dining tables. I remember, I don't know, was it a couple of years ago where the oranges, what was it, oranges and the, oh, what were the things that they stuck all over them? I don't remember now. Anyway, that was big. I wonder if holly will ever come back to be a fairly big fad just by itself, decorating with holly. I know we've had like magnolia leaves. I remember my mom one year spraying magnolia leaves gold because we had a big magnolia tree in the house that I grew up during high school in. Found one little spot that's minus some paint. Didn't get a good coat on that one, so add that in real quick. I love having a lazy Susan. Spin around and I can get to all the areas that I'm trying to reach. Speaking of events and stuff, I was looking at our calendar the other day and some of the things that are coming up. I was like, man, the calendar is really full compared to the last couple of years. Well, I don't know, year before last I think had a pretty good amount of stuff in it. Because even though things were happening with, you know, the pandemic, things were still going on. It was just kind of getting started, so. All right, I'm gonna jump around to the holly and work on the holly for a few minutes. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to green, and this one is gonna be festive green. Now you could do there's a variety of greens you could do with this. You could do a foliage green, and then there's also a jeweled green if you wanted a kind of, Yeah, this is it. It's called Jewel Green. It's kind of, I don't know, it's green, but it's almost got a little bit of a, not strong blue, but a hint of blue to it. So that could be something different in way of the holly leaves. But I'm going to stick with just a festive green. Stick with Christmas colors on this one. I've asked a few times on different posts and stuff about whether you like traditional colors for Christmas, or if you like following the themes. I made one post about one particular theme has to do with a kids show, or a Christmas kids show, and oh my goodness, the amount of stuff that is out this year for that particular theme. It's just crazy. I shared one post where I talked about I had gone in a local crafting store, and I kid you not, almost one whole section was nothing but this one theme. Of course, we have the little truck. And then, of course, buffalo plaid has been one of those. Some people, I think, are getting tired of buffalo plaid. And then we've got other people who fell in love with it, and I think they'll be with buffalo plaid forever. Dry our leaves. We can get a second coat on them. This might take a third coat as well. If you have kids still at home, or if you have grandkids that come and stay with you during the holiday season, especially for Christmas Eve, how many of you still read the Christmas story or a Christmas story on Christmas Eve? We kind of have a tradition where we read the Christmas story "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we read the Christmas story from the book of Luke. We started the Christmas Eve story when my niece was little, and we would call, and to begin with, I would read it, and then as she got older, I thought she would read it. But she didn't. She's kind of shy sometimes. My daughter, on the other hand, piped up one year and said, I'm going to read it. And I'm like, all right. So that tradition's been going on for a little while. All right, I've already done 2 coats and we still have some patches of white. So I guess I'm going for a third on the festive green. I didn't think it took that many coats on this one. You know, some colors I end up doing 3 coats on, and I've come to the conclusion, I used to get kind of frustrated, like, oh, another coat. But here lately, especially with Christmas stuff and things that I've been doing, I'm like, you know what? It just means it's really well covered. So just taking a little bit different perspective on the whole needs 3 coats. I don't really remember this one requiring 3 coats, but maybe so. Now in the middle, we're going to mix color, not really mix colors, but it's going to be 2 different colors. It's actually going to be green and red in the center. So as far as the name goes. Now the little holly berries, I'm actually going to do a different color red. And the reason why I've chosen a different color red is because I really wanted it to kind of stand out a little bit against the peppermint. I didn't want it to be all the same color. All right, so for the holly berries, I'm gonna get another, you know what? I'm gonna get a filbert tip brush and go with it. So I'm using, let's see, this is Tuscan red, yeah. So it's just a little bit darker. It's not, I'm not gonna need a whole lot of it, I don't think. I don't think. Just wanted the berries on the holly to be just a little bit different shade. And I may actually use this on the family name rather than using the peppermint red. I don't know. It shows the same red as the peppermint color in the example that I have, but might offset it just a little bit more if I use the Tuscan red color. Break up the reds just a little bit. Put a second coat of the Tuscan red. Plus, I think the Tuscan red probably does better in 2, or probably covers well in 2 coats, and that'll speed up the process. Which, come to think of it, I may use a different green on the and family. Oh, y'all, this is just like me. I've got 3 paints laid out here. White, green, and red. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. I only have 3 paints to use tonight. And here I am already. Oh, let's grab a different color for the berries. And oh, let's grab a different color for the green for the center. if I did, I don't know, I've got Hauser Dark Green. I like it a lot. Let's see, looking for green. But I don't want, I don't know. I may use the dark green, Hauser Dark Green. And then that way, the center has just a little bit of a variation, but it still sticks to the red and green theme. Okay, so there's the holly leaves and the holly berries, and now we're going to get started in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and get, let's see, that green, my round brush that I used earlier. That ought to work well with this one. Grab my, call it my painting assistant. When it comes to the fine lines of letters, I'm reaching that point in life where I need an assistant. So meet my assistant. I could have picked a flat brush for this, but the letters, because of the way that they go from thick to skinny, sometimes it is just easier to work with a round brush. And get the letters filled in. Yeah, I think I'm going to like the little bit darker red, just to give it a little more variation. I don't know, I don't like it to all be the same thing. Some things look okay when it's all the same shades, but to me sometimes the variation in shades just adds to. Like I said, I could have grabbed a flat brush for part of this, but I'd be flip-flopping back and forth between the flat brush and the round because some of these lines are so skinny. I could turn the flat brush sideways. I keep feeling like I'm in wet paint. I think it's just kind of cool to the touch at the moment, but because I put the heat to it to the heat gun to it to speed up the drying process, but every time I lay my arm on this part down here, I'm like, please don't let me be smearing paint everywhere. Getting it on my arm is not that big of a deal. I can wash it off. But when you stick your arm on wet paint and then turn around and transfer it onto an area that is not supposed to have that color, that's when it gets frustrating. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that this week. It's just been one of those weeks, you know, working, trying to get things done, and next thing you know, I've stuck my arm in paint and transferred it somewhere where it shouldn't be, and then I'm having to fix boo-boos. I think one day I had to fix like 4 boo-boos. And what was really bad is they were like all in a row. It wasn't like I did one and then later on I did another. It was just like boom, boom, boom. I managed to mess up 3, and that was what was even worse. It was 3 different pieces, and I managed to botch all 3 of them and had to fix them. They weren't, you know, messed up to a point where they couldn't be completed or fixed. It just meant that I had to stop what I was doing and work on getting, number one, the paint that did not belong cleaned up. So, you know, baby wipes to the rescue. And then number 2, while baby wipes are great for cleaning up boo-boos, generally you do have to go back and touch it up. So yeah, that was one of those days. By the time I got to the end of the day, I was just like, please tell me that we're done with today and we can have a fresh start tomorrow. Because it just seemed like one of those days where, as one gentleman I know put it, I had a Midas touch. If you remember the story of King Midas, well, it wasn't a Midas touch, it was a minus touch. Everything I touched just sort of went down the tubes. All right, so almost through with round 1 of the name. And then what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use the Hauser dark green and do, up here it says the, and here it says family. And so I'm going to do those in the darker green. And then the basic scheme, color scheme, will be red, white, and green, but I will have a variation on the red and the green in shades, so that way it's not just the same red and same green throughout the entire door hanger. All right, so I'm going to do the Hauser dark green. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's going to be pretty cool because it's going to separate from the holly. So the holly and the words will not be identical. And I am just going to stick with the same brush. I'm going to flip this around. That way I don't have to reach across what I just painted. Ooh. Bless you, my child. I'm not sure if we picked up something yesterday. I don't mean like a sickness yesterday at the parade. I think while we were out at the parade, undoubtedly something is still lingering in the air that my daughter and I are allergic to. Pollen or, you know, grass seed or something. She woke up this morning sneezing, and then I had a moment this afternoon where I was sneezing. So here about a week ago, I thought, all right, everything as far as I can see around us, as far as the yards and stuff and some of the fields that we pass when we go out and about, I was like, all right, it looks like everything's dying off, ragweed and things like that, yay. And then last night we got in and she started sneezing. I was like, uh-oh. Like, okay, maybe there's a section that has not died off yet. All right, so let's flip this back around where you can see it. Oh yeah, I like just the slight difference. It's not a lot of difference in those two greens, but I like the slight difference. No, I did not get out and catch any candy or anything at the parade. Had a few things. We were kind of sitting in the back of a group. But it was funny because there were still some people who wanted to test their throwing abilities. There were a few things that made it to us. But like I said, it was good weather. Clouds came overhead a few times, so it was not too hot as long as you weren't standing directly in the sunshine. Had a breeze. We actually got up underneath one of the trees and just enjoyed watching the parade. Watching the kids have a good time. Of course, there were a few that weren't real sure. This one little girl, bless her heart, she was good until till the band came through and decided they would crank it up and play a Christmas song, and she was not real happy about all that. It was a little louder than what she wanted. She was ready to leave. Just working my way around the last of the letters on family. And then we'll do a little outlining. I don't know if I'll outline the center part. I am going to outline the peppermint itself. I don't know about the words. Of course, if I mess up the last two letters, then I will be outlining them to cover up my boo-boos. So now you know. To me, the outlines, they not only smooth out any of the slight imperfections, to me it just creates the crisp lines that separate everything and help it stand out. But there's some things that I'll do that I'll think, you know what, it stands on its own. I don't think it needs any help. And so sometimes there'll be things where I won't do a black or a white outline on them. Now I may still do some highlight marks, but all right. So while that sits and dries, I'm going to go ahead and start with some outlining. And let's see here. I could let it go just like it is, but to me, just a little bit of the outline, even if it's a thin outline, and I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use the medium paint pen that I usually use. I'm going to use the smaller one and stick to some thin black lines on this one. So I'm just going to start here on the side, on one of the skinnier ones. And I'm just going to outline the side of it. Just work my way around and just add a little of the skinnier outline on this one. I don't want it to be too bold. Just want it to break up the colors enough where you see the defined lines a little better. And it's not just where one color ends and another begins. Same with my holly. And I may actually, you know what, I may actually use the bigger one on the holly. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like the bigger lines on the holly. I may actually come back and do a little shading on the holly. I think that would be pretty. So I may add that in, and then of course you'll see it in the pictures. I think that would be pretty. Now for the berries, let's see. Let's see what the skinnier one looks like. It may be better with the... No, I think that looks okay. Oop. Whoa. Now, one thing I did not do, and I could have actually done this darker line in the middle with the Hauser green, and that probably would have looked really cool. I may do the thicker line around the center part. I don't know, we'll see when we get there. Right now I'm going to get my stripes taken care of. Something happened here. I think I crossed over my line too far. I'll probably come back and fix that with a white. Matter of fact, I think I did that twice. I did. I should have had my helper glasses on. Either that or I was talking way too much while I was trying to get that one done. Alright, so I do have a couple of places to repair, or touch up, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to use the thicker line in the middle. Try to keep it in the light so that way I can see where my line is and not get off center. Alright, now the only other thing I think I might do is I might do a little bit around the edge, but I'm going to hold off on that, and the reason why I say that is I want to do some shading on the leaves, but I also may do a little bit of shading on the red itself. But there is our Peppermint family sign. This can actually be this could actually be sized down for like placing in the kitchen, on the counter, maybe on a plate stand or on an easel for easel art, and so that would work well there. Also, it could be done as part of the Broken Pieces collection, and I haven't talked about Broken Pieces in several weeks, but I'm still doing those with the shattered glass and the resin pour over it, and so it gives it a really shiny look. And of course the broken glass, or the shattered glass pieces on it, of course, just give it a different look altogether. So it's really pretty. We took several pieces to the festival that we did in November, and came back with one piece. So if that tells you how that was well received. So I was excited because it was actually the debut weekend of it, and I had just showed it off on the page here, and so I was really excited to have it well received at the event, and that so many people liked it. So yeah, who knows? Maybe this one will end up as one of the options, or one of the examples for the Broken Pieces collection. You never know. So Well, hey, don't forget the Paint Party Box is available, and in the Paint Party Box you get the door hanger blank, and what do you know? I happen to have the blank sitting right here. It's generic this year. I didn't go with the winter theme. I actually had several people request that we do something more generic because it is for after Christmas. Now, it is the Christmas gift edition, but if you think about it, you're giving it on Christmas Day or possibly just before Christmas. And most folks won't have time with the busy, hectic schedule of the holidays to get something painted and put up quickly. And so this allows them to get into the new year and, you know, January, February, when, you know, things kind of slow down a little bit, not as much going on as the months of October, November, and December. Then they have time to sit down and they can open up the Paint Party Box and have something to kick back and do on a relaxing weekend. And so this one is generic, and so it says home is our happy place. Let's see if I can get it all in here. Home is our happy place, and it is generic colors, and so we just kind of went with sort of neutral on this one. So I should have uploaded a photo of it on here, but if you check out the post, I'll post another one. I don't think I've posted one today for the Paint Party Box, so I'll post one here in a little while, and you can see the sketch, the mock-up of it, where it shows the colors that will be included in the Paint Party Box. So the Paint Party Box comes with the door hanger blank, it comes with paint, and it also comes with a link to a video tutorial where you paint along with me. So it's not like you're painting it all by yourself. I sit just like this in the same, pretty much the same setup. Sometimes I'll do it where it's just this taking up the screen, and then I take myself off after the introduction and welcome, and then you just paint along with me, and you can pause it if you run out of time for the day and think, you know, I need to get some rest, or I just need to stop for a little while. It's time to get dinner ready. You can pause it and come back later. And so that's the neat thing about the Paint Party Box, is that you can press pause, or you can back it up. And say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't see how she did that. So back it up and watch it again. So that's the neat thing about that. But that's the Christmas gift edition. So works, like I said, it's specially priced at $20. And so that makes it affordable, or makes it available for a lot of those Christmas gift limits for those Christmas parties. And so that is one way to use the Paint Party Box. Another is for the crafty person on your list. Maybe you've got somebody who likes to paint and do crafts, and you're like, what do I get this person? So that's an option for them. Or hey, maybe you're looking for your own gift. And you're thinking, hey, I'd like to try that. Well, hey, it's a paint party in a box. So you know what? You grab a snack, grab something that you enjoy sipping on in a relaxing setting, grab the Paint Party Box, set it all up, and we'll paint together. So, and that's the Paint Party Box. And like I said, it's the Christmas gift edition, so it's specially priced. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining with me as I try out a new setup here, and also as I paint the Peppermint family sign. So appreciate you being with me this evening, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks so much for watching.